I was at Penn State, Ohio State over the weekend. I was in Happy Valley. I flew up on Saturday, spent all day yesterday at the airport because the flight got delayed like 5 hours coming back from Pittsburgh. I got to tell you, it was a phenomenal experience. It was an outstanding environment. Penn State had that game won. And then there was a 47-yard touchdown catch that I think threw a moment of doubt in their heads, and then they ended up running a bad play on 4th and 5. Now, here is why I typically don't focus on one decision, right? I talk a lot about overall game. I understand it's sexy to be like, oh my God, what was Penn State thinking with that play? They were in that position because of a series of poor plays they had made after they got up to 26-14. So I don't tend to focus on that. To me, if I could go back and change any play, if I were a Penn State fan, it would be the 47-yard touchdown catch where Dwayne Haskins threw it so poorly that the catch that was made by Benjamin Victor, I believe it was such an improbable and excellent catch that it threw off the Penn State defenders, and they weren't able to react to it, and then he made a spectacular individual play to run that in for a touchdown, because I think that touchdown being scored so quickly fundamentally altered the game. If I could change a second play, it would be the penalty that Trace McSorley got on the drive before the final drive when he was scrambling and decided to throw the ball down the field, and he had crossed the line of scrimmage, and then they called offensive pass interference on Penn State. If McSorley doesn't decide to throw it there and just decides to keep running, he probably gets 7 or 8 yards there, and he's facing a 2nd and 2, and the clock continues to run, and the odds are that Penn State is in a position potentially to kick a field goal there instead of getting stopped. I thought Trace McSorley was extraordinary. The other thing is, when you run that play, the idea, I think, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is you are going to pop it because the expectation is that McSorley is going to do something. Now, if I were making the play call in general, what would I have wanted to do there? I would have wanted to roll McSorley out and give him an option to either run or throw. That would have been my decision because he was so deadly both throwing and running the football against Ohio State. I think he posted like 466 total yards, both running and throwing the football. But I don't like to go to the final play and be like, hey, if something had happened here, if the play call had been different, then everything would have been different. There were a lot of plays that I disagreed with in terms of the outcome for Penn State that you would focus on, I think, before the final play on the 4th and 5 situation there. So to me, I think this is intriguing in general as all of this plays out. Okay, Happy Valley was phenomenal. It was a great environment. The whiteout scene, it was a wild, like crazy wild scene. I think Penn State was utterly close, so close yet again to make a play there. It was pretty outstanding.